Hi all, and welcome to another Steve's garden journey, jungle garden journey. I've been a bit busy at work, so I haven't done one, so we'll just do a quick whip round and an update. The wind's just kicked in at the wrong point there, so there you go, but you could see the predators have moved in. I've seen a few, I don't know what that is. Someone might be able to, I don't think I'm going to get it, but I'll try and take a photo of it and put it up. But he looks like he's munching something there, so that's good. He wants to watch out though, because there's a little spider on that leaf there, which is right next to it. So anyway, let's have a quick update. So we'll start over here. This is the Morning Glory climber that I grew from seed. It's doing really well actually. I fed it, it didn't do a lot. They were looking a bit worse for wear, and then as soon as the tendrils hit the bamboo, it yeah, it's flown and it's gone all green and that, so that must be a signal for it to start growing. I've just noticed on this fig, which I'm going to fan train, we'll get into that on another video, but he's still doing okay with not too much care. He's got quite a lot of predators on him, though, little bugs I'm just noticing, and hoverflies around, so I'm happy with that. So yeah, here's the garden in general at the moment. I have been meaning to do a kind of go around and let you know the method to the madness and the little projects I've got going on, but I just haven't had the time, so I thought I'd do a quick whip round now and get into that. Hopefully it'll quieten down and work this week. Again, this is going exactly how I wanted it to go. Now, they looked a bit worse for wear on the last video 1 if you've not seen it, but I fed them about a week ago, and as soon as the tendrils started hitting, they've gone lush, they've gone high, they've gone quick, and hopefully they'll go all the way up there, and I'll just keep feeding them every week for now. So who would have thought? Over here we've got the bamboo. I thought it was dead. You can see that one in the middle is like orange, and they've shed all their leaves pretty much apart from this one. But if we have a quick look around, you can see this one's sending up a few little shoots at the bottom, so that is probably a good sign. And you can see a few of them at the bottom have just got the little sprouts coming out, or whatever you want to call them. So I think it might have shut down and jettisoned what it didn't need, and then it's sorting itself out. Another load of Morning Glory here. Again, this is not as much sun here because it's behind the bench, but the tendrils are going, it's got all green, so we'll see how that goes. This Nicotiana is actually going really fast, probably the fastest growing plant here. It's in full sun and quite well drained soil, because between the two flower beds there, you can see there is actually a block wall. Those middle blocks you can see running along the middle of the screen, they're sat on 4 breeze blocks effectively, or curbstones, whatever it was, but essentially the two beds aren't joined, so that's just a bit of gravel in the bottom and a bit of topsoil and manure mixed together. But he's pretty big. He's probably about 50 or 60 centimeters wide by 40 centimeters high, and he's grown so fast he's outdone the ensete that I had to dig up, which is over there in between the two seats. The Bromeliad's not doing very well, but hopefully he's still alive, and at some point when I get a chance I'll chuck him over with the other one, because the other one seems to be doing okay. But this thing's actually starting to throw up a kind of stalk now. For the first few weeks it was just a kind of cabbage, but yeah, it's thrown up something, so that should be quite interesting. The Eucomis is doing quite well. You can see the leaves are nice and vibrant. It sent up its flower spike. I'm not sure if that looks good for one or not, but we'll see what happens. So I'm quite happy with that. Sunflowers are doing really well. Yeah, with regarding the pests video that I put out, all the aphids sort of disappeared overnight. They're all just like not aphids. I don't know whether they're eggs. I was under the impression that aphids gave birth live, but yeah, because I thought someone was up because I saw loads of ants on the patio over there, and I was thinking, oh, what's going on? I looked at the aphids and there weren't any there, so I thought, oh, they're searching for new sources of food and that. But then I realised there was a can of cider that had been knocked over behind the chair. So anyway, but yeah, me what's this one? This is the Blechnum chilensis, is doing quite well. You know, or he's not suffering, might be a better risk. But yeah, the fronds are quite firm, they're like holly. That's in full sun, that is, so I'm eager to see how he's doing. This banana is doing really well. It's a pity it's just got windy the last couple of days, because this nice leaf that is sent out with the red tinge. I didn't realise they had such a red tinge on them, on the stems. But you know, after having never done it, you know, why would I? But the pups it's thrown up are really, like, that's a really lush colour, that one. I mean, yeah, so I was going to chop some of the pups up, but I thought because it's the first year, they've only been in the ground about 2-3 months. So yeah, I'll just leave them. But I'm quite interested, actually. I quite like sitting there watching stuff and working out, like, living things sort of survival strategies. And the bananas is quite good. These little ribs, they're almost like sacrificial. I guess the most important thing to it is the stem, because no matter what standard the leaves are, no matter how bad they are, the stems always seem to be pretty much, you know, like not snapped and, you know, snapped in half and just hanging off like a branch would off a tree sort of thing. They all seem to be doing well, and I worked out it's because these are kind of like sacrificial tears. So if it's getting pressure somewhere, this one was unlucky because it just started unravelling right when it was windy. Like literally the 2 days there's been wind, he's just popped out and he's shredded. But the one on the other one, which isn't quite there, is probably okay. But yeah, they snap, and then that takes all the strain off of the stem. So yeah, you know, if you like that sort of thing, I thought it was quite interesting. This is the little sword fern. He's doing quite well. He sent up some new fronds, so I'm quite happy with that. The canna is doing well. He's actually, oh, sorry, it's a bit wibbly wobbly behind here. But I don't know if you can see that, but there's a spike. The original one was the sort of middle one. It sent up a little spike to the bottom left, and then the big one that's sort of up here, you know, almost higher than the original spike, has just shot up. And he was denied sun by the other leaves, so I wonder if that give it a bit of impetus to get higher quicker. But yeah, so I'm quite happy with that. They seem to be doing okay. The Ensete, as I said, I had to dig him up. I did that today just because he was getting totally covered by the Nicotiana, so I thought I'd put him there. And then what that means is I'll take him inside for winter, save me having to do anything with him as such. You know, and I'll repot it as I do that. So the ferns here are doing alright. I'm not going to go through all the names this time, but that's a Polypodium vulgar. Oh, look at that. I'm learning. The Niphotheas obviously don't look like they're going to flower. I think they're early flowers, but next year's they're going to go over in that bed, I think, once the sunflowers are gone. The dahlias have sort of popped up a little bit, the ones I grew from seed, these ones at the front here. Like I said, the ferns are all quite happy, and that is pretty much full sun, part shade to full sun, you know, right on that boundary. The lady fern, it's got a few fronds that have been burnt, so might have to move that. But this thing here, I don't know what the hell this thing is, because I planted I put it out with these dahlias. It was growing in my kitchen windowsill, but that doesn't look like any of the others. There's another one down here which is like the others, but that feels kind of, I don't know, like quite thick leaved, like almost like a dock leaf, you know, like when you sting your stinger nettles. Yeah, this banana's not doing as well as the other one. I think I might have chopped off one too many leaves earlier on though, because I chopped one off that one and two off this one, and I bet that didn't give it enough energy. So we'll just sort of see how it goes. Again, this one's a bit brutalised by the wind, but he hasn't quite unfolded, so he might actually survive that leaf. This flower bed is oncoming. I'm going to do that next time, hopefully, because I'm going to go get a couple of new plants. Not much going on around here, just the ferns are all growing. Again, this one's quite nice, the Herrenhausen. That one is the Royal Fern, the two there, the big one and the one to the right of it. Oh, it looks like I got a weed that I missed earlier, in amongst the Hark's tongues ferns. This is quite nice. Polypharum, was it, or Polybifarum? Some Jurassic Golds down there, they're doing quite well. Brilliance, Errata Brilliance, was it? Ethrosea. You can see my drip irrigation is going. This thing's doing quite well. I can't remember what it's called. It was in a pot with a fern I bought from the place I get them, so I'll put the name up underneath it now. But he's actually started throwing out leaves, so we'll see what he does. This bromeliad doesn't look great, but it's doing better than the other one. The little maidenhair, I'm pretty sure it doesn't like it there. So I'm going to move that and put him down beside the tree fern, and I'm going to move, yeah, there's a bit going to go on basically. But if you can see this irrigation, the theory about it was that this top one here would drip as it is into the top. That would then soak through and drip into this one, and that would soak through and drip into this one, and so on and so forth. It is wet there, so oh yeah, you can see it dripping through at the back. Yeah, so it's not working exactly how I expected, but what that tells me is that I need to work out a way of getting this point here as the furthest down, and then the water will track to it and drip down. So I'll have to think about that, but this is going to be an experiment. I'm trying to create a kind of, you know, when you get the plants growing on the side of trees, and I was hoping it was going to cover it, when the ivy would drip down to cover it, and it would look kind of like a tree trunk, but we'll see. This thing's doing okay. The Fatsia, yeah, again, the aphids seem to have disappeared. I have seen a few like of those, I don't want to call them parasitic wasps, but you know, not yellow wasps. They're smaller, they look almost like flying ants, but they're a lot thinner. The Dixonia seems to be doing okay. I've been watering him quite regularly. I usually do it, I usually put the irrigation on now for an hour just to wet the soil, and then in the morning I'll give them all a quick spray. Cyathea is doing quite well. That's a new frond in the middle there. This grey one here, so that's quite nice. And he's got another one coming up towards us just down there. You probably can't see it, but yeah, I'm quite like that. These are doing quite well actually, to be fair to them. These are the two silver ferns. They seem to have woken up a bit, so yeah. And this fat cedera seems to have thrown off the aphids as well, but I'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, and this Dryopteris wallichiana, which I don't think I'm a fan of this. Is it the cristante or the crispum things, the things where it splits at the end? I mean, this plant's a perfect example. If you look at that one, that just looks really good. But I'm not too sure about that myself, so I might hold off buying any more of them. Yeah, so that's it. So quick update on it all. It's all sort of going okay, nothing too massive going on. Nature seems to have taken its course with the pets. On that climber over there earlier, I watched a ladybird and ants having it out, so there are bugs and that around. Yeah, that's it. Well, until the next time, it's going to be another busy week, but I'll put an update out. Oh, and there's my drink. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this night sat out here just watching stuff happen, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day or evening, whatever you're doing. Right, happy days.